Hello, viewers. We are live right now on Facebook, and this is your boy Ray E.
This is your boy P. Wills. What's up?
And this is your girl Eb.
Wow.
Was I loud?
That's
Super
super
loud.
I felt like
Did your girl Eb?
I felt like I was real loud.
Yeah.
You came in just as loud as that shirt is.
This is.
Oh, jokes
I
already.
thought my shirt was
on
killing
fire already.
it.
You
I thought
are
my
killing
shirt
it.
was
You are
killing
killing
it.
it. Everybody's in you.
Okay.
It's all
Pat, you just Pat made the shirt. I mean, you just gonna let him talk about your shirt, brother?
It's all right.
It's okay.
Houston
It's
Rockets
nice.
colors.
Okay.
Houston, hold on, stop.
I was
Houston
told yellow
Rockets.
was my color. That's why I
Rockets.
picked it.
You a Rockets
They have a
fan?
little bit of yellow.
Is that
Okay,
what
okay. I get it, yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean,
Am I wrong? Ain't that the Houston Rocket color?
a tad bit.
I mean, that's more like
Okay,
burnt
but then
orange.
I'm
Or
sure-
Iowa
burnt-
State. No,
burnt
Iowa State
sienna.
Cyclones.
There you go.
Oh, Lord.
Cyclone. That's like
Yep, the
I
Iowa
think
State
I'd rather be a
Cyclones.
rocket than a cyclone. Well,
look
no,
kind
they
of
both sound
kind of look
kinda
like a
good
hot
now.
dog in a bun. That's mustard
oh,
and
really?
ketchup.
Oh, you got jokes. Okay.
Got it!
I thought this was.
I'm on your side.
No.
I'm on your side.
I thought this was what
Now-
did you say? A
now
battle of
the
sexes,
sexes,
but
light skin
dang.
side. Look, light skin side.
Light skin against
woman
light
side.
earth.
No.
Dang. Okay, Ash, I got you.
I ain't
Mustard,
seen you in a
Houston
while. I
Rockets,
ain't
yeah.
seen
Ketchup and
you.
mustard.
Ketchup mustard.
It's okay, Ebony.
See, I'm not good with comebacks, so I'm just not even gonna say
But
nothing.
see, she got them comebacks where she be waiting the whole time.
Yeah, she just
Let
over
it out,
there
and
like
everybody be like,
waiting.
where did that come from?
Right.
Do the closing remarks and say, "Yo, Pat, remember you?" Clown.
2 shows later,
That's-
it'll be something serious.
At least y'all know what it is.
We have a special guest
It's all
here
love.
today, just like she ain't never left.
I know.
Ashley McGee's in the building.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm happy to be back. It's
She
been
is-
a minute.
She is the biggest Lance Stevenson fan on the planet.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
shout out to
You know, I'm
Ashley.
so glad
Love
I'm
Lance
here.
Stevenson.
I'm so glad. There's so much
Do you
love in the
love
room.
Lance Stevenson?
I love Lance Stevenson.
I like his charisma
He's
too.
my-
Lance is a character.
You know what I did? You know what I did like about Lance Stevenson? No lie.
Uh-oh.
I did like the whole
There you
LeBron and Lance dynamic when they were against each other.
Yeah.
Him like picking on LeBron a little bit, like
Yeah,
the antics,
yeah.
was so entertaining to
It
me.
was.
Oh man, I used to love that. Now it's all gone. That's history now. So it is what it is. It is. May that rest in peace.
So he's not your favorite player anymore?
Huh?
He's
That's a
still-
joke.
Oh.
See?
So how you feel about LeBron on the Lakers?
You know what?
It's too early for that.
It's way too early. It's late in
We
the
gotta warm
day.
up for that one.
I've worked all. I've just had a long day. It's been a good
So
day.
you're a Lakers fan.
I love the
You're a
Lakers. I still love the
diehard
Lakers.
fan.
I still
Who's the
love
greatest Laker?
Greatest Laker?
All
Oh, now
Magic Johnson, hello?
I do have to be politically correct
Did he play
here
for the
because I'm a diehard Kobe, so everything is Kobe. Kobe fan. But I mean,
Oh, Magic.
obviously I love Magic. Obviously,
You think people gonna forget about Kobe because LeBron is?
you know what? There's been so
I
much
heard about
disrespect, and it has really, really
I heard
irked
that.
me
Yeah.
because they started ranking. I think
Oh my God! How you
No.
gonna rank somebody who never played?
Bleacher Report came out with the top 5 Lakers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Jesus.
Did they put
LeBron
LeBron
hadn't
on
even
there
signed yet. And they came out and put him before Kobe. I'm like, that was so disrespectful.
No, they
And that
didn't.
has nothing to do with LeBron. That's
They did that, man, for real.
they did that. I'm not we can look it up
Wow.
right now. I'm not even kidding you. It's Bleacher Report. Came out with the top 5. It was like I know Magic was on there obviously. They had LeBron, I can't remember. I can't even
Kobe?
remember. No, Kobe was not on the list.
Are
I
you
can't even
serious?
remember who else was on the list because I was so
Kobe
upset.
wasn't on the
He
top
was
5?
not on the top 5 of greatest Lakers of all time. I'm not even
Wow.
kidding. It was terrible. It was so
So they
it's
bumped
so
Kobe.
disrespectful to the man. Like, are y'all serious right now?
Dang.
And at the time, because LeBron just signed his contract yesterday.
Right.
That's
So
messed up.
the news had just came out that LeBron was coming to LA,
Okay, watch
and
this.
so
Sorry,
he hadn't even he hadn't even signed yet. And so for like Bleacher Report and some of these other reports to put that out there, I'm like, wow, they just completely just missed everything that Kobe has done for that organization. They just completely dismissed that, and I think that was just the utmost disrespect to that man and what he's done for that organization.
Yeah,
Shaquille O'Neal was on the list. Shaq was on the
What?
list. That's right. Shaq, Magic,
Are you serious?
LeBron, and I can't remember the other two.
Wow.
So where was LeBron ranked?
I don't remember that either. Is that relevant? It's not relevant.
No, I mean it is because because this is going to prove how stupid that damn list is.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people think he's the greatest ever. So if he's not the greatest Laker ever, how is he the greatest basketball player ever?
Touche. I mean, yeah.
So that's why I want to see this damn dumbass list.
If that's the case, there's a lot of great players that started on a certain team or went to a certain team after their career was completely like over, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That means they're great too.
I mean, yeah, they're great, but we're talking about
Like Jordan with the Wizards.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Jordan's the greatest wizard that
forgot
ever
about
He's
played.
the greatest wizard that ever played.
So I mean, that's basically what they're doing.
Wes Unseld
Huh?
is probably the greatest wizard ever.
Oh gosh.
Wes Unseld,
Listen.
The Golden State Warriors just picked up.
DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boogie.
That is ridiculous.
That team's just.
That's
They're
ridiculous.
super
man.
stacked right now.
I'm
They
saying.
stacked.
I'm telling you, the West.
Who does
Pause.
so who does LA have now besides
I say pause after that, right?
what?
I have to say.
What?
pause.
You can't say no man is super stat and
I
then I say
said-
pause.
He didn't
after
say-
that.
He said Golden
super
State.
stacked.
Oh, okay.
Where are you? Where's your mind?
Yeah, where are you?
Good
No,
God.
listen, because Ray says a lot of questionable stuff.
Like any
Now you're
Yeah, like-
questionable.
Anywho,
I thought this was Battle of the Sexes. Now they teaming up.
Ain't
Look.
nothing questionable about this rain right now.
Oh, show it.
Bling.
Oh, I can say,
Look what we got
Ain't
here.
nothing questionable about that rain now.
And by the way, Robert L. Brown said he needs a yellow gray area shirt.
It's
So
your
Well,
fault,
he
Robert
likes the
L.
gray
Brown.
shirt. Thank you, Robert.
Robert, we're gonna have Ebony personally deliver it to you,
Is that a black person?
and she's gonna have on this yellow
No.
shirt.
No, I'm not saying
No,
that's not
no,
a black
she
name.
delivered it
Robert
to you.
L.
No,
Brown.
Robert is clear.
Robert L. Brown.
Yeah, Robert is very transparent.
Is he
He's-
trans-
Robert's like right in the middle.
He's clear.
Yes, we like Robert.
Yes.
Tell
He's our soul adopted soul brother.
Oh, got a little soul to him.
Robert, tell your wife we said hello. Please.
Tell him that.
We were quiet like he was gonna say it.
No, I was waiting for his. I thought you was like, I was waiting for the
Yes, we
response,
did.
Ebony.
Like,
Did
yes,
you tell him?
Right.
You tell
Yes,
tell
we
him.
are. I need y'all to come back.
I know, right? Look,
Y'all off work now. It's
He
been
can-
an hour or two
he
since
can
you
hear us.
commuted to the gray area.
let me
Now.
take a sip of my gut
Let's
health.
look. We're gonna have to.
Sparkling
Hey, look at
We're
punch.
gonna have to. We're gonna have to go.
We're gonna talk
off
about
air
this.
and come back on live and start again. That's what we about to
Wow.
do.
You know I'm about health. Health.
I have no idea what this is.
Yes.
It looks so good. Does that beet juice in it?
but
No, I hate beet
It's,
juice.
Really?
it's
It
supposed
looks
to
like-
be a healthy
Probiotic drink.
probiotic drink, which
Mhm.
means that
That's
in
free
short,
advertisement,
you're gonna be
by the
in
way,
the
right?
bathroom
Mm-hmm.
after you drink.
Oh, that does not mean that.
half a cup.
That's free advertisement.
I mean, it's
We need
look,
Tell us what this is and what's in it.
It's so good.
strawberry
It looks good.
biscuits.
Strawberry hibiscus. It's farmhouse
Hibiscus.
culture, gut health, gut punch. Stop. 'Cause I can't even talk. Sparkling probiotic. It's vegan. It's gluten free.
Oh my God.
Okay.
All the good things.
Black folks don't want to go vegan.
And where'd you get it
No, I got it from Whole Foods.
Whole Foods, Whole
Yep,
Foods,
I did get it from Whole Foods. It's ice. It's cold. It's cold drink, but it's just good for gut health. It's really good. You can have a little sip if you want.
Gut health.
Gut health, your gut, your intestines,
Mm-hmm.
everything that goes through
gut
there
flora.
sits in there. All those
It does have
ribs you
beets.
eat.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have
Yeah,
beets?
beets.
Uh-huh. I
Beets
thought
and
it did.
guts,
It's all
okay.
red.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't like beets.
It has
Strawberry.
It has brine in it.
You be ready?
What'd he say?
Nothing.
See, he on another level over here. So y'all.
It has
y'all
sea
gonna
salt, caraway, beets,
I just heard beat some guts and it's okay.
erythritol, hibiscus,
I'm glad we have Ebony.
and live cultures.
Ebony keeps us level.
So, yeah,
He does.
on a level,
You know,
right?
I'm just as foolish as you guys.
He has to be the teacher in the room sometimes.
One day, Pat they were cleaning up the office. This is probably not gonna be funny, y'all, but it was funny to me, dang it. And Pat said, "We gotta hurry up before Mama gets home." You don't remember saying that?
You're right. It wasn't
Oh,
funny.
yeah. Yes, I
It
know.
wasn't funny. She
When we
right.
got here, this studio
I'm
was
not a comedian.
clean.
Oh, I'm just
I'm not a
kidding.
comedian. He had
It was
candles
bad.
lit and everything, and he was
Man,
like, "Yeah."
Clean.
Man,
I was
you
like,
got
"Oh,
to.
it smells so good." He was like, "Yeah, we gotta hurry up before Mama gets."
Yeah.
Here's a question.
Yeah, hurry.
Battle against the sexes. Who's cleaner, males or females?
Males.
In what kind of way?
House.
It depends.
We're in the
House
house.
cleaning?
House cleaning.
Males all day.
The place,
I
the
know
place
men
where
do
you
both. I
stay,
know
where you
both.
lay your head, and where you cook your food.
Males.
It depends
When's the
on-
last time y'all cleaned the baseboards?
You know what, man? That's a good.
He doesn't even know what that is.
I
See
do
what
know
I'm saying?
baseboard.
See what I'm saying?
When I
I'll
was
say about some
little.
damn music. I'll say about some
When
music.
I was little.
See?
When I was about 12.
Them baseboards
Ain't
aren't
clean
clean.
them
You're not the best. What about them
I'm
crumbs in
trying
the
to
back of the
recruit the
toilet?
kids to do it. They be
Ooh,
looking at me
don't
like,
do
who
that.
does
The
that?
crumbs in the back
What's
of the toilet.
crumbs?
Crumbs.
You know what I'm talking about. Toilet paper crumbs from the dust.
What?
Time
Toilet
out.
paper dust crumbs. I'm sorry, I have teenagers.
Toilet paper
And I've been in
dust
other
crumbs.
people's bathrooms
Hold on,
and
stop.
public bathrooms that have that
Rewind.
mess.
Take it back. Wait a minute.
Y'all ever heard of
You know what
Toilet,
I'm
paper,
about.
toilet paper
crumbs?
dust crumbs?
I guarantee you, if you ain't look, you got them.
We definitely have
Yo.
to.
You don't know what that is.
Toilet paper
You
dust
got
crumbs.
them.
Ashley.
I'm gonna go home tonight and I'm gonna send
Yeah.
y'all a picture.
We coming to your house with a magnifying glass.
I'm good, y'all. I'm good.
I clean my toilets every single day.
I'm clean. We good. No
telling you.
crumbs.
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. Toilets.
Yeah.
Toilet paper
So
dust
check
crumbs.
for the
Yeah.
women. Jane, we're gonna keep track all night. Women.
Baseboards, toilet paper,
Women
dust
won,
crumbs.
men
Let us
zero.
know
What else?
who's cleanlier.
I would cleanlier. Is that a word?
I don't think.
Cleanliness.
I need
Cleanliness.
Who is
I need
cleaner?
Ray to wake up.
Cleaner. Who is cleaner?
Cleanlier.
I need Ray to chew on some of them
Please.
coffee beans.
Viewers.
I just might.
Who
Just take some
I
and just
just might.
pop them in your
within the house, viewers, who is cleaner? The man or
house
the woman?
cleaning. House
cleaning.
cleaning.
Lord.
House
Within
cleaning.
the house. House
Yo,
cleaning.
you
Why y'all,
got
House cleaning.
why y'all
Okay.
ponder on that?
Man,
You got it right.
Uh,
men or women?
Okay. What about the when you clean the kitchen? See, here's the thing. See, like I said, I got
Lord.
teenagers.
Okay.
Mama
So
Emily.
they think cleaning the kitchen is just the dishes.
Nah, man, you got to
Kids
clean the
have
island.
no
you
For
gotta
some
clean
reason,
the
they
countertop,
think cleaning the
stove.
kitchen is the freaking dishes. No, you did the dishes. You didn't clean the
I don't
kitchen.
think kids' peripheral and eye vision is like
Man.
if you tell the kid to clean up the room, when I come back, this room better be clean. You go in there, it's stuff
The
everywhere.
bed's made though.
You be like, I thought I told you to clean up.
Better good, though.
I
It's
did
like,
clean up.
They cleaned the bed. They
You
made
got
the bed up.
crumbs, trash on the floor,
What's up
with
plates in
crumbs?
here, everything shoved under the bed. That is not clean.
So when y'all
Sorry.
clean the kitchen, so you get the floor, you get the refrigerator, you get the countertops. Take the stuff
Absolutely.
off the counter.
I get
You
OCD.
clean in your house. Who cleans your house? Well, your wife or
We all clean, but
Oh, okay.
I'm very
Okay.
detailed.
Mhm.
I get OCD.
what they
Because
say?
I start looking at stuff and I'm like, okay, I gotta
Yeah.
clean that.
Yeah.
I gotta clean that.
And
that
one
leads to
thing
this,
leads to
this,
another.
this.
Yes, it
What
does.
they say?
shout out to Greg Britton. Greg said males are cleaner. Just be a janitor for a week and clean them bathrooms.
Ooh.
Did it? Look. He said he did it back in the day in the women's bathroom in 421 Bowling Alley. It was horrible.
I have actually
Hey.
heard
Man.
heard
He
men
manned the
that have
establishment.
clean bathrooms say
Man.
that we're the worst.
I have,
Really?
I have
a
heard
look.
that.
I used to
Yeah,
be a
man.
And actually, just
I used to be a facility coordinator, and I'm gonna tell you what, women have the nicest bathrooms,
They stink.
but they are also some of the dirtiest.
yeah.
Man,
I'm not gonna lie. I've had to go
they
to a
smell
men's
like-
Y'all
bathroom
got couches,
because the women's was so nasty.
flowers.
I will go in a men's bathroom.
Y'all got everything
Quick.
in them damn things.
Single stall,
I was,
single
just,
stall.
I was
Y'all-
mad the first time I went in
Single
the
stall.
women's
Single stall.
bathroom and seen that y'all was living so comfortable in the bathroom.
What's wrong with that? We got to sit
I was just
down.
like, how y'all got couches and stuff?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Y'all got
Y'all don't be
none
trying to
of
hang
I
out. in the
wanna know
bathroom,
this.
so
Y'all
That's
be in
weird.
there
What are
smell
y'all
like-
doing in the bathroom that takes y'all so long?
When? Like,
What when you
first
do
of
what you gotta
all,
do?
when
Why
we
does it take
pee,
so long?
Your
You talking about,
pouch is
like,
this
getting
big
dressed?
and you gotta
Nah.
it gotta come out of this little tiny hole,
Oh,
so you gotta
God.
sit there with your hand on your hip and let it go, just like that. Close your eyes and go to sleep.
Oh,
Wake back up when it's done. You know, stuff
good
like that.
God.
See that? I know you got
Terrible
crumbs on the back of your
visual.
toilet. You ain't even watching where it's
Uh-uh.
going. I know good.
He got
I can
crumbs.
tell already.
He got crumbs.
He got
Look,
crumbs.
I'm a beast. I
Oh,
put my hands up like this and
Jesus.
everything
Oh my God.
goes into the
Oh my
toilet.
God.
Lord.
Everything
Oh my
goes
God.
in the toilet. And sometimes
Oh my
I
I
can't
get a
God.
little
undo that.
fancy.
Did
I
he do
cannot-
oblique?
I get a little
can't, right.
fancy.
He hit the obliques.
I can hit it from this way. I can feel like this.
He's turning pets.
And the toilet over there.
That was so disrespectful.
Hey, man, turn
You
back that
just
way.
turned your way.
I know,
I
right?
did it just like
That
that.
was so
And here's a
disrespectful.
question. So, if,
But they didn't answer the question though.
They
What are
didn't.
y'all doing?
but if y'all go, you two go in the bathroom right here in this place
Okay.
together,
Okay.
and there's three urinals.
Huh?
Are y'all gonna go side by side? Or y'all-
I'm
Why?
waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question.
Elbow space.
What if there's only two And there's no stall.
I'm waiting.
You gonna wait?
Are you standing there looking? Are you standing there while they do it, or are you leaving?
If there ain't no stall,
I'm going outside.
by itself.
I'm going outside, bro.
You gonna wait outside?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I never knew.
There's like male bathroom etiquette. They have.
Really?
It's like
I didn't know that.
it's like I'll bring my own soap.
No.
Wait.
Okay.
All day?
Wait a
Nah,
minute.
he's a little different on that one.
Yeah.
You bring your own hand soap?
Oh, yep, man, my own hand soap.
Guys don't wash their hands
Man,
anyway.
shit, me.
Do
I wash
men-
my hands
do you
constantly.
guys wash their-
Some guys don't wash
I'm
their
constantly
hands.
washing my
Ew.
hands.
Ew.
That's nasty.
Well, women
I'm
too.
constantly washing my
Women
hands.
don't wash their. Some women.
Well, I
don't
work
wash
in a gym, so you know I'm.
Oh, hey, man,
constant.
speaking of that nasty ass gym, boy, let me tell you.
That you don't come into.
Ooh. Ooh.
Busted.
That was a good one.
Busted.
That was a real good one.
Thank you.
You're right. I need to get back in there. But I'll tell you about the fun boys, man. That beat up.
Wait a minute.
How do you
Yeah,
know they
man.
fun boys?
Nah, man, they fun
How
boys.
you know?
Man, listen,
Valid point.
I've been going to Lifetime, man. Well, I'm sorry, damn, I said the name. But anyway, I've been going to this gym. I've been going to the
Doctor
gym,
came
man, for
on the
about
show
12 years
the other
now.
day.
Man.
I've been going to the gym about 12 years now, so they had to actually change the shower curtains, man, because they used to have solid colored, like, no see-through shower curtains, right? So when I worked out at like 5 or 6 a.m., they would change all the curtains, and then 2 hours later, the curtains got holes in them. Because, how the fun boys be peeping, like,
I feel like you made this story up.
no,
that's
okay.
probably the
Why don't
worst
you go,
story
Why
I've
don't you go
ever
ask
heard.
who?
That
No.
was a terrible story.
You up, like, you can fill in the blank. Just ask who. When you,
Okay, I will. He's
ask
gonna be
him.
like, what is he talking about?
No.
Listen,
He's going to say, nah, that's
you know
real.
they've completely renovated that whole place.
haven't
That's how
been
long
there.
you ain't even been there. It's a whole
Wow.
new place.
You missed the whole renovation.
They did the
I did.
whole.
Isn't that like
No,
a
I haven't
phase
been there
one?
since April.
Isn't that like a
Talking
phase
about it.
1, 2,
He
and
said
3
April.
of a
April.
renovation? You
Since we,
missed about 3
I thought you
quarters.
said Abel.
April.
I ain't been there since Abel.
Yeah,
I was like,
Damn,
man.
ain't that long?
I've been to April.
That's what I thought. I was like, okay, I know it's been a while, but Jesus, no pun
Literally.
intended.
Oh, that was a good one too. I love it.
Oh, Rack it up.
That's 3.
Break it up.
Mark one on the board.
That's 3.
Oh, we
3
got
hearts.
3. What are you talking about?
Nah, man, I got no 3.
Oh,
We
you
combined
beat all my
those.
scores.
All together.
What?
Oh,
One.
okay.
You won.
Wow.
Let's talk about some of the relevant news, y'all. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is Liandria Jonhnson.
Mm-hmm.
Probably spelled her name wrong. Forgive me. I just...
What's it saying?
Wait, now, I'm
What's
gonna
it
be
saying on
honest.
YouTube?
Hey, viewers, did
Before-
y'all watch that video?
Before you get into this, I'm not aware of this.
Okay.
Well, we
So-
gonna watch the
So
video.
we'll let everybody
Okay.
know. Leandria Jonhnson was on
She's
Best
a gospel
Sunday.
singer.
She started
Sunday-
on Best Sunday.
Sunday's
She was one of
Best.
the best Sunday contestants.
Sunday's Best.
Sunday's Best.
Yeah.
See, I told you that.
Sunday's
She
Best
won
on
the
BET.
contest,
Mm-hmm.
and she's been in the gospel
You said,
arena for a long time,
Yeah.
singing and the other day on Facebook, she just went off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before you show the video, though, I want to
she's
give a
going
little
off.
background for the viewers that
Yeah, go
don't
ahead.
know. But, well, not a background to the video.
Yeah.
But I was watching her, I want to say, God, what is that? I can't remember the TV station. But Charlamagne the God has been on there. It's
Yeah.
been a few people, and she was on there too, where they talk about their life or whatever.
Life is going on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I think she's dealing with some church hurt. And she even talks about it. But anyway, in the when she's telling her story, she talks about losing her money, gaining it again, and then apparently she was celebrating. I want to say it was 4th of July. It was a holiday. She was at her own house.
Right.
She was celebrating a holiday, but she had a drink in her hand. She had maybe a couple of sips of
Some of that
matter of fact, it was
Shout
a
out
hard
to
liquor that she talks about in the video a little bit. I think it was Hennessy or it was something hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so they came down on her because she had a drink in her hand.
Right.
So that I think,
Triggered her
coupled with
going on.
well, that was I think last year. But I think ever since then it's just been a snowball.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, she's been having some rough patches and whatnot, but one thing I can respect her for is being transparent about
Yes.
not only her life,
Very
but
much
just
so.
about things in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she said a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that people in church think but never say.
But never say. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna play this clip for y'all a little bit and let y'all hear probably about 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, and I'll stop it in some instances where it gets silent and we'll discuss it. But this is Liandria Jonhnson basically going off on the church and saying she's tired of the church because of the church, this and that. And so I'll let y'all hear a little bit. Here.
Oh, this is a different video.
This is the full one.
Mm.
Go to the middle. That's a different one. She was in the car, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's in the car.
Everybody.
What? What? Who is Kevin?
We're gonna stop it right.
Hey man, first of all,
This was a different video, but this is an extension of what she had going on. Basically,
Is that the one?
yeah, this is the one right here. That was the after effects. So I'm gonna let y'all hear the one where she's like kind of going off.
There we go.
Christianity is the only place you can get robbed and nobody call the police. And nobody call the police. The church is the only place you can get robbed and nobody call the police. Here, there I said it. There I said it. I said it. The church is the only place that you can get robbed and nobody call the police. I said it.
Is this like Facebook Live or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she's
this
not
is
lying.
on her Facebook. I mean, she's basically was in the car going off, and she has more to say here. Hold on. That's Facebook loads. Bear with us, y'all. We want y'all to hear this stuff that Liandria Jonhnson is talking about. She actually named a few people,
She did.
do some stuff out there.
Specifically.
What area is she from? What area is this?
She's
Atlanta?
from.
I want to say Atlanta, somewhere down south. But I could be wrong.
first of all, you look at her, look at her face, and you just
She's
tell.
gangsta.
You can tell, man, that woman eat boiled eggs and collard greens twice a week.
She's from the South.
That's what I'm saying. She eat boiled eggs and collard greens at least 2 times per week.
Jesus.
Why are you saying
Neck
that?
bones, chitlins 3 times a year.
Yo, you tripping?
Man, look at her, man. Hey, can't tell me, man. That
I was
woman eat no
thinking more
boiled eggs.
like menthols.
And because of this video, she lost.
She's been banned from
she
a
lost
lot
her
of
spot.
church events.
Yeah, and she lost her spot at the Essence Fest too.
They basically have
Well, I would imagine.
But this she said like August 18th in Chicago.
the Essence
Yeah.
Fest. The Essence Fest was.
She's going to expose everybody.
Yeah.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, like towards the end of that, she said, "Come up to Chicago, August 18th, 18th. Yep, and then she's going to talk about everything.
I bet you gonna be. Everybody's gonna be up
She
there.
said,
too.
"Save your money because it's free."
Yeah,
Free.
she did.
Just
With a whole bowl of boiled eggs,
Yeah, she's going off. If y'all want to see
hot
the
water
full,
cornbread,
Pig
and
feet.
some pig feet and greens.
full
She's from
video,
Florida,
I'm gonna post it in the live feed so y'all
but she
can
was
see.
living in New Orleans.
What
She's
part of-
been basically going off on the church.
What part
And
of Florida is she from?
A place I've never heard. No, I think I have.
Name.
Palatka.
Black.
She was born in Palatka,
Palatka.
and then they moved to
Man, you tell us-
Almonte Springs, Florida, or
Palatka
Almonte
is
Springs.
right on the border of Florida and Georgia. It's like right there, probably in a country town. Palatka.
Lord.
I want to know, did any goons come after you since from last Tuesday?
I won't bring that up, man.
You said something else crazy? I can only
We
imagine.
had a
We
guest
talking bad
on the
about
show.
Gary last week.
They were having a youth event and they were giving away a car. They
See,
were
you
giving
would know
away
that if you had
bikes.
watched the show.
And then they were, yeah, that's true. Never mind, I'm not on their side.
Got him.
Oh,
One for us.
and they were giving away bikes, a car. I wonder who won that car. And it was only $1 donation.
And trips.
And trips. And Pat said a 7-day stay in Gary and
Hey, all day.
You know what?
Go
He's
Gary.
a fool.
I got friends from
He
Gary.
is
too.
a fool.
Me too. But she had the nerve to say that there's a 5-star hotel in
No,
Gary.
I asked, is there a 5-star
And
hotel?
she said yes.
Here?
You ever been to
Oh
Gary?
yeah, the guest did. No, nope. I've been
Oh,
through
you ever been
Gary.
to Gary?
I've been
Never
through
been to
Gary,
Gary.
but I've never been.
Gary
to
is
Gary.
like
Okay, that's why she asked.
Gary is like
I've seen it, but I've never actually,
Gary
I
is
haven't
like,
seen
I've
all
seen
of
it.
Gary.
the east side of Indianapolis.
Huh? I'm from the east side.
Yeah,
Don't do
I'm
that.
from the east
What?
side.
I'm from the east side
Hold
too.
on
Where?
now.
What part of the east side are you from? You can't just,
Pat's from the suburbs. I don't even know. First of
I
all,
grew,
he
I grew
goes.
up 38th in college. That's where I grew up.
okay.
Yeah, yes.
That's a
she's-
rough area.
yes,
Literally on
I grew up off of 38th and
545
Anderson.
East 37th Street was where I grew up.
5615 East 38th Street.
All of 38th Street, you might get. You might.
Oh,
get
calm down. It's
surprised.
not even that bad.
First of all, Pat's
38 was
favorite
not
chicken
that
spot
bad.
is on 141st
And
Street
guess
in
what?
Noblesville.
And guess what? Because my mother, and listen, my mama lives out that way, and shout out to my mom. I got her some Popeyes too Saturday.
He said the best Popeyes chicken
Popeyes.
is on
Best Popeyes chicken.
141st Street in Noblesville.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that
that's what he said.
listen.
Is it playing?
You know, I drove through
know.
Noblesville
What about
today.
YouTube?
Let me check.
Noblesville's a lot nicer
So,
than what I
viewers,
thought.
Posted the
what do you
link.
think
I
about,
posted the link in the live feed.
Oh, okay.
But I'm it's up right here.
Viewers, what do you guys think about, if you've watched the video, tell us your thoughts. What do you think about the video? What are your comments on what she's saying? Just some of the things that she's saying as we're going to cue it up here in a second was when she talks about church hurt. She talks about how, she said pastors, what was that line that she said? The pastors, no. Well, she said basically church is the only place you can go to get robbed, and
no one calls the police.
and nobody calls the police. She was also talking about pastors living basically a life of luxury while their congregation money to a pastor when your bills are due, or give your money to a church when your bills are due. But they live in good, and you're not going, and it's not a reciprocal, situation where you're going to get something out of it. And she's basically saying, like, why would you do that? That's crazy.
I'm with her to the, okay, look.
Robert's the man.
Yeah, hey, shout
Robert
out
is
to
the
Robert.
man.
Shout out to Robert and Edward. Because Edward said the 131st Street Popeyes. just for a clarification.
Hold on. Let me play this real quick while it's playing.
Yep, go ahead and play it.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm really trying to see.
Yeah, she's.
Yeah, that sounds like Ashley.
You know what? That does sound like me.
Damn.
What's going on?
Liandria Jonhnson.
Sunday's best.
What we gonna do?
She doesn't say. She never said.
Everybody.
Can't tell me that woman don't eat boiled eggs, man.
And by the way, though, y'all can go,
Oh, she makes my brain hurt.
whoever you're with.
What? It's like fragmented sentences.
Towards the end, right? She's.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
goodness.
towards the end.
See, when you started talking third person.
Jesus.
Made my mind rolling.
Okay. So what is the truth?
All the church
this, that, and the other.
Everybody making money. Those that are in the church making money. Y'all the dumbasses.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all see y'all pastor living good, first lady, they team living good, but you struggling. But you
Uh-oh. You agree?
don't believe God. Don't believe God that He blessed me. Da 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 da. No, y'all need to cut that shit out. What they doing that you're not doing, they're making good business decisions.
Decisions.
That's what they're doing.
Whoops.
You believe in God. Okay. Like I said, God ain't got nothing to do with it. He's the giver of life. He gave us life. He gave us choice. He gave us a choice. Hello?
I don't hear nobody. Oh, it's
Oh,
live.
it's live.
Same shit
Jesus.
y'all did.
You know what?
Hello. Oh no, sorry, I'm live.
No, she right.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's why when everything gets wrong or gets fucked up,
Oh, whoa.
then you wanna don't blame him. Don't blame him.
You talking about God?
Okay, I was wondering.
Don't blame God.
Is she driving while doing this?
No.
Okay, somebody else is driving.
And you know. Well, why can't I live like that? You can't tell me. You can't tell me you sit in church and you don't be like, well, why can't I live like my pastor? Why can't I live like my first lady? Or their entourage? What? You can't tell me you don't feel that way. But you believe in God. Really? But you believe in God. Y'all go to these conventions year after year after year after year, only to find out that who you serving is the same as you.
Wow.
They fucked up.
You excuse the language.
Please.
Liandria Jonhnson going off on the church.
But you spending your money. Your hard-earned money. Don't even know if your lights gonna be turned on.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
I'm gonna stop it right there. I really want to
That's
get
pretty
y'all's
heavy stuff.
opinion on what she was saying.
That's a good
Like,
place to start.
everybody not gonna agree with how she's saying it,
Yeah.
obviously.
Right.
But like I told,
Clutching their pearl. Everybody, all the saints is clutching their pearl.
I said this last week, is that everybody receives stuff differently.
Right.
So, and I use my wife as an example. Her and her family, when they communicate with each other, they very direct. You know, and that's how they receive each other.
Right.
My family's very quiet. You know, we yell at each other. It's like, oh, you really mad, huh? You know, we don't receive it well. So, you know, but everybody receives the language different when it comes to people telling, and that's her way of explaining herself and telling what it is. Now, her family might understand exactly what she's talking about, but if you a Christian and you in the church, you looking at that like, man, she's gone crazy. She's drunk. She's on drugs. But is there some truth to what she's saying?
Who wants to touch on that first?
I feel like you do, because you spoke up first. I'm curious. I have to take all this in. I'm a person that I have to think about and before I give my.
That's good.
Yeah, I'll speak first. I disagree with how she's doing it. But I think that there's some weight and some truth in what she's saying. I think that this is a gospel person who is a celebrity, who's been in the gospel arena, who's made thousands of dollars, lots of money, has been up there with Marvin Sapp, the Winans, Tamala Mann. She's been on that platform, Kirk Franklin, and she's saying herself, y'all look at what the church is doing, and y'all sitting back waiting on something to happen and wishing that y'all could do what they do, and they just making money. So I don't agree with how she's saying that, and I don't think that all churches are intentions are to make money and capitalize off of people. Right. But I do think that there are mega churches and churches out there that they get to a certain level and that's all if that matters. Because at some point you got to maintain that what you have, the planes, the cars, the house, and all this stuff. Like, what level do you stop
Right,
at? You know what I'm saying?
What's
Where's the threshold before you become a super mega church making all this money and you buying planes so that you can get to places faster?
Here's a question: what sparked this? There had to be something in her life that sparked this. Because this doesn't just come out of just, you just wake up one day and decide to go on Facebook Live and rant and rave and now you feeling some type of way. Something happened. There was a catalyst in her life along the way that turned her from her path. What was that moment? I have no idea.
Well, she talked about
She talked about her.
She talked about her. Hold on.
Her kid.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, go ahead, Pat, because I'm
Well,
trying to find it.
she touched on and it was really brief. She said that when she had her child out of wedlock,
They try to make her get an abortion.
They try to make her get an abortion
But she
where
declined.
right, but
Yeah,
she
but she said
declined.
no.
But then there was
So,
other people, and then they also just talked bad about her because she had a baby out of wedlock because she refused to have an abortion. And then she talked about how there were women who got abortions just to keep a title or to gain status, and then they were upheld. It's kind of, and I kind of feel her on that because it's kind of like how, society looks at let's say a woman that has 5 children, had 5 pregnancies and had 5 babies, meaning she didn't give any of them up for abortion, or she didn't lose any. But then, and she's struggling, but trying to feed her babies and the choices that she makes and trying to, do the best she can to feed her children and live with her choices. But you can have another female who done had 5 abortions and has no children that may be looked at as esteemed in comparison to that woman who decided to keep hers, and society looks down on her because she has 5 children and she may be unwed or single, whatever the case may be, but society upholds the woman with none who's living her best life, but she didn't have 5 abortions.
Don't people disagree with abortion? Isn't that a thing? I mean, that's huge.
It depends, but that's if people know. The only way they would know she had abortions is if she's actually
so you're saying that?
Yeah,
okay.
somebody
So
that's not telling. Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because people, and I've had conversations with people about abortions. Some people feel like if the fetus is in this early stages, then it's not murder, right? But then the Democrats were trying to increase where you can get an abortion at 32 weeks or something like that. So that baby is pretty much almost full, fully developed. So you're saying at that time that you could actually have an abortion that late in a pregnancy. So is that considered murder? I just think that it's a person's perception on how they
Here's
view
a
it.
big question. What's the difference from somebody deciding that they want to abort their baby from somebody that is served the death penalty?
Or a rapist or somebody like that.
That's dying. Outside of it being a crime, it's still death. You still deciding to take somebody's life. So why are people in the world okay with killings of another nature?
Stipulations.
You know what I'm saying? So
when does life start?
Is it why? What is the reason?
No, but when does life start? I mean, is it when the heart beats?
Yeah, to me.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is life. Life is created.
So,
I think this has a life beat. Or a life beat, a heartbeat.
So I think, and if any of the viewers know, could you post this? But I think when a woman is pregnant, the heart, comes first, right?
The heartbeat.
So isn't that 2 or 3 weeks? In?
I don't know.
I know the brain starts and then the brain stem and
But
the
the
spine
heart
and
is
all that
first,
stuff,
though.
and then
But the heartbeat is
My
first.
bad, 3 and I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna hear a heartbeat before
So
you
does
even
life
know
start then?
before the
Well, I
child is even
can say when I was
developed.
about 3 weeks, it was a little flicker of light. It wasn't. It was just she just had a little flicker of light.
Yeah, but the heartbeat
That's how it
was
showed up.
going
Yeah,
on.
it was. Yeah.
So,
not
so does life
to
start
shy
then?
away from the whole topic or whatever.
I'm just wondering the people that feel like it's your body.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's your life. I'm not saying I'm not pro-life because I love life. I'm glad that it exists. But who is somebody to tell somebody that they should abort a baby or they shouldn't abort a baby? You know what I'm saying? I just think that it's all depending on how your life is going. What if you was raped?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? And you are forced to have a kid that was from somebody that you didn't ask for.
Right. Well, I think in Leandria's case, she was talking about how, you know, they were more concerned about how it looks, you know, because she was one of those, like you said, one of those singers that was on the platform with some of those big names. So how does that look for, because she doesn't just represent herself, she represents gospel music, and she represents what has been, I guess, it's been, gospel music, in my opinion, has just been so, it's been made to be so perfect, and a lot of stuff gets hidden, like somebody in the comments under her video was talking about James Cleveland having AIDS, dying of AIDS. He was a famous composer and had a gospel choir and everything. He's like the father of gospel music.
So were they trying to say that like he was gay or something?
Yeah, he was. He and allegedly whatever, but he died of HIV. He died of AIDS, and it was swept under the rug. And so they sweep a lot of stuff under the rug, and that's what she's talking about. How you'd be surprised at the stuff that you see. Seeing that she's in the position that she's in. I think that now that she's in this business, she sees that it is nothing but a business.
You know what she reminds me? She reminds me of, I had a conversation a while ago with a woman who didn't understand why somebody would, be all in her face and tell them they love her, but then do something completely different. And I think that Liandria Jonhnson is kind of suffering from that. Like, when I grew up, and then she said this in a video, when she grew up, the church was all about helping people, and it was a different face on the church. But when she became a celebrity and became famous and got to see the back behind the scenes, talking with people, making money and everything, she really seen the faces of people who were actually just like her. Drinking, on drugs, having abortions, all these other things. And she just basically said that she was tired of covering up and trying to be something that she not, because the world is saying you can do it, you great, you can be. She just want to be herself. And she's also saying that these people out here that y'all looking at saying that they blasé, they
put them on a pedestal.
Right, they are the same kind of people, and that she's definitely hurt. I definitely agree with anybody who is able to get on live and go off like that about her personal life, and not only that, the church, and that's a hard thing to tackle. The church, you know what I mean? Like Christianity, you're going against the whole body. You know what I'm saying? And I think the problem with that is sometimes the church does need to be challenged. There's a lot of things that are happening that shouldn't be happening, and if nobody don't say nothing, then it's going to continue to happen. Right. I do think that some churches get to a level of stardom or celebrityism that it becomes commercial. And that's why you see on late night TV all these people selling little packets of water, and you're going to be blessed and receive $10,000 if you buy this packet of holy water. I do think that churches get so big that they become commercialized like that, and that's what turns people off.
It's insane, man.
And I think, but like you said, the church needs to be challenged, but I think the church needs to hold the church accountable too, and start calling out these people that are in the church, because just like black folks hate when white folks say you all, or, when I was a practicing Muslim, everybody put, I hated when everybody put Muslims in a box. You got your radical Islam, and then you have, Orthodox, or whatever the case may be. They put you all in a box because of what one person or two people do, so, and what does that do? That causes you to hold those people accountable, because you making us all, you're allowing society to put us all in that box, so the church needs to hold the church accountable for what's going on. And the problem, I think, is the fact that people look at the church as, like I said, these gospel artists And that's a lot of stuff she talked about was gospel artists. You know, the business
she
of
was
gospel.
talking about her experience and what she's
exactly.
seen.
Instead
and
of
these are supposed to be people who are at a level where they can do no wrong.
Right. But
and she's seeing that they are just like her, so it pisses her off to say that y'all telling me to be nice and get it together, but y'all really the ones going through this.
Who was wearing the Versace shirt the other day?
A pastor?
Wasn't it? It was a pastor, but who was it? I can't remember, but it was on Instagram. Y'all remember that?
No.
It was like last week.
Wow.
It was some.
I can believe it.
It was some big time pastor, and maybe somebody, I don't know if somebody's watching knows, but he had a Versace shirt, and gosh, what superstar? Some star made a comment about it, and he went off. Oh, I think it was Darren Fleet. If y'all follow him on Instagram, Darren Fleet, he's a comedian, made a comment about the shirt, I believe.
Pamela said TJG.
TJG had a Versace shirt.
Shout out to Mom.
Here's my thing about what people have. To me, it's not about the wealth that they have possessed.
But that's what
I think that's what people see. To me, it's about you telling people not to do something, but you're doing it behind the scenes. And like, see, I have no problem if you built your church on wealth and you've gotten to a level where you know you're big. But to me, you're obligated to help even more people.
Yes,
I think the problems come when you're preaching a certain thing. Like if you're a pastor telling people that they shouldn't be gay and gay is the devil and all this stuff.
And then you out here doing it.
But you messing around with little boys in the back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. And
but
I
is
think
that
that's the problem with the church.
what she's saying?
She's saying
because
that is what she's saying.
Okay.
She's basically saying that y'all trying to tell me to get it together, and the world know her story. You know what I'm saying? She was transparent after that Sunday's Best thing, and a lot was going on with her, and it was very exposed. Everybody knew about it. She was addicted to alcohol, drugs and stuff. Yeah.
See, I know nothing about her story.
She's had a hard life, but even her style of ministry, people look down on because she dressed as a prostitute one time just to go out on the streets to reach the people, and she said the rationale for her dressing like a prostitute was because she felt like in order to teach the people, you got to reach the people where they are.
Right.
So she felt like if she came as Liandria Jonhnson, it wouldn't have the same effect, versus her coming as one of them, which is kind of, if I'm not mistaken, Jesus disguised himself, and so I don't know, I didn't see a problem.
Said something.
I didn't see a problem with that, but the church had a problem with her way of ministry.
Right.
I think she's just one of them and their needs, and she is tired of them being naive and being abused and being taken advantage of.
Yeah, it's like I said, people have different languages of communication.
Yeah.
And I mean, you gather, like if you was talking to your pastor, or you receive it differently. I received the message, the Bible message, differently from certain pastors. Some pastors I can't listen to.
I can't, right.
It's just not clicking with me. And I listen to another person, it's like, oh yeah, I feel that.
Right.
So everybody see, y'all heard the cussing pastor, right?
Yeah.
The black dude with the glasses.
And he says a lot of truth too.
He said he has a lot of truth.
Yeah.
He don't have the best choice of words.
He cusses.
He curses.
Does he really?
The cursing.
I gotta see this.
No, he is.
Does he really?
I'm gonna look it up.
It's a lot.
Yeah, look him up.
It's like the F words.
Hey, play something.
Yeah, let's find something.
Good.
He's brutal. I mean, he
we
calls
gotta,
himself the cursing
I want to know what our
pastor.
viewers think about it, though.
Please,
So
they're
who
chiming in. So
who else
read some of the
has seen
comments.
the video?
Remind me to read a little quote I posted on my Facebook
Let's
page.
see.
Okay.
It's some.
Great
Something for
Britain
you.
said,
Something for me.
let me see if I can read the whole thing. I don't I focus on, I think Greg might be, are you responding to another comment? Okay, I'm going to put it together. He says he focuses on the message when he goes to church. That's what you're there for. He said, and to be honest, most don't really give to the church. Not many are giving their last to have their bills go. I guess it depends on what church you're in. Not everyone is the same.
Sorry about that.
And then Robert says, Robert, he is something else. He said, Ebony Jesus has been disguised as a white man for centuries.
Hello?
Robert, you are something else.
He's funny. I like
He
him.
is super
White
funny.
Jesus is the worst thing to ever touch this earth, man. Sorry.
Let's
What's
see.
that?
And then Pam, aka Mama, says, "From one's mouth speaks that of the heart."
Mm-hmm.
So she's speaking from what's in her heart.
Receive it how you want to. Some truths is hard to take, you know.
I mean, but when you go back to what she was saying, though, man, like when she talked about how the church is a business.
It is.
Yeah.
So
talk about that.
Yeah. So I mean, and I've witnessed this, man, from my grandmother. She was a devout churchgoer. I mean, her entire life, and she would tithe, which tithing has nothing to do with anything monetary at all.
Right.
Go read Deuteronomy 14, verse 22 through 29, and you know what tithing is.
See how you spit that? Real
Where it
nice.
says, "Bring your money to the storehouse."
Yeah, but it breaks down exactly what tithing is, why they were tithing,
Because
because
has nothing to do with money.
there were 12 tribes, and the Levites, or the tribe of Levi, they were the priests of the Israelites. So they didn't have their own land. But if you read the chapter, it breaks down how the other 11 tribes had to look out for the priests, because that's what the priests did. So like when you sinned, you went to the Levites. And they burnt an offering for you, and prayed to the Most High, and boom, your sin was forgiven. But Christ came and canceled out that.
Sure.
But that's all. But okay, anyway. So, but my grandmother tithed all the time, and she did a lot for the church, a lot for the youth. And when she needed something, they basically like shunned her. So like this is like 20 or 30 years, and invested in her giving.
Wow.
To this church every Sunday, every Wednesday, doing things, for them. And when she needed something, man, they basically, so, and it wasn't, really something major. She just came, she had hard times financially, like back in like the late 90s. And she went to the church, and they was like, we can't do nothing for you. So you basically saying, okay, just keep praying with no action.
And paying.
And then you're saying, hey, all this prosperity preaching.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Feel good, God.
Yeah. Like, okay, just keep praying, and God is going to bless you with that house. And see, I have an issue, man, with that. Because you don't know my financial situation, okay? You don't know, man, if my credit's bad. You don't know, man, if I'm working. Nothing. So how can you tell me that if I keep praying, that I'm going to get this house? Yeah, I can pray, but if I don't work after the prayer, faith without works is dead, right?
Right. Instead of telling me to pray, how about you hold some workshops and classes on credit worthiness and savings and financial responsibility and literacy and all those things, so that I can get so I can, as she said, live like the pastor.
Here's the video of the cursing pastor. This is 1 minute. I know some of y'all that are listening are familiar with the cursing pastor, so y'all are going to know his voice when you hear it.
And I want to know from the viewers, is he telling the truth? You may not like the delivery, but is he telling the truth?
You motherfucker.
Yes or no? Is he telling the truth?
I'm not sure.
I'm excited. Play it.
That this one is going to be educational, but I know that he likes to curse.
I'm sorry for anyone
try
watching
and
on my
receive the
timeline
message
if there's words
through the
bad.
cursing.
I don't know what they're about to play.
Here you go.
Now see, that's too much.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh, that's terrible.
Damn.
Do not put that on the Lord.
Okay.
Wow,
So
that's
Well,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no,
That's terrible. I'm
That-
sorry.
Now,
That's
hold on for a second.
that's horrible. You calling
He said,
these
hold on.
That's not cool. You
these
call
women
them
out their
Jesus,
names like that? Now come on, now, y'all. That's
that's
terrible.
much.
Yeah, that's
That's
ridiculous.
horrible.
that's a bad way to
But-
give the message.
Y'all go read Matthew.
That's not love.
Y'all go read Matthew.
That's
23.
not love.
Go read Matthew 23 when Christ was going off. Talk about woe to you Pharisees, and then he called them a brood of snakes. To me, that's another way of saying you.
Boy, goodbye. Don't put that on not my Jesus. Don't put that on my Jesus.
Hey, Jesus called them you brood of snakes. That's another way of saying you motherfucker.
Okay.
So here's the question.
That's not love.
But see,
That-
they ain't
that-
out
that's
there
definitely
back
not
then.
And
love.
God is love.
I wouldn't
If
receive it
anything,
like that.
God is love.
Right.
Shows love
Absolutely.
and is love.
What
That's
does love look like, though?
terrible.
How does
Absolutely.
What is
what
love?
is, what is yeah?
Absolutely.
What is
Call
Does
a-
love
say-
always feel good?
I
It
can
doesn't, but
say-
you can't call somebody out their name
Hey.
like that.
Hey,
Hey, it
absolutely.
depends
say
on your
that's entertainment.
situation.
That's to me,
Not-
that's
Not a
entertainment.
pastor,
Not like
but
that.
yeah, not
To
a
me, that's
pastor, but
entertainment.
Actually.
That's not you're not really receiving
That's
the message.
good
You're
term.
receiving comedy.
You coach right.
To me,
Yeah, coach.
Okay.
to me,
That's-
I just
no.
think this is
That
entertainment.
ain't the same.
yeah.
And
Have
I
you ever
think
had
when
a-
people go off like this and they utilize a platform like this to do something,
Mhm.
they are pure entertainment.
Okay.
I don't agree with the message.
How
and
he's saying it.
saying it.
No.
I think that what we heard what he's trying to say is he just wants to be real and
Hey,
give the
man.
truth.
But you can be
But be
real, but
honest.
not be like that's
Hey,
wild.
man, listen, baby, be honest. How you said that is
I feel like he was
Okay.
a pimp back in the
He
day.
sure
or something.
did.
He must have
He was
been.
a
He had to
reformed
been.
pimp or
Listen.
something.
See, that's wild.
But see, this is what we're up against. Like, there's so
That's
many
terrible.
people delivering the message
Yeah.
how they feel like they should give it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are receiving. Like he has members.
He has
Robert
a lot
said
of
yes.
members.
He has
Robert said
members.
He has members.
He has a lot of members.
He has members
Yeah.
to his church.
So he has a church?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
real
my
pastor.
God.
Yes.
Hey, Robert said, hold on. Robert said using the Lord's name in vain has nothing to do with language.
Mm.
Hey, that's a
Yeah.
Hey, he's giving the message.
Mhm.
I don't agree with how he's giving it.
So are there videos of him actually giving a sermon like in
Yeah,
church?
but they all cursing.
But is he like cursing at the people? Like is he calling
No,
the
he's not
bees?
cursing
and-
at people. He's cursing
And
because he just
N-words.
curses as a pastor.
Yeah.
Okay, but
That's
he's
just
not
how
actually
he-
like saying these things.
I think when
towards
he's
people.
on live on Facebook, he's really cursing at individuals.
Mhm.
You know, but again, since he's a cursing pastor, I wouldn't doubt that he wouldn't give the same message.
But see, and I feel like your statement talking about what Jesus said in the Bible,
Mhm.
I feel like that situation
Yeah.
and that's like
Totally
comparing
different.
apples and oranges.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
it's
two
totally
totally different things.
Well,
It
they
is.
ain't have
It
to
is.
left back then.
But
No,
the word,
no, it is.
the word bloody in Britain is a bad word.
Sure.
But see, when we hear it, bloody is not a bad word.
Right.
If we say MF to somebody in Britain, they're not gonna receive it as what that is. It's just like that's a funny
I bet
sounding
you
word.
call somebody a
Yeah.
B word, they receive that.
Probably.
So
or
you're saying
What I'm
bitches
saying is-
universal.
the N word. N word is everywhere.
Absolutely.
You know
Yeah,
they know that
that's a
word.
Universal
Absolutely.
word.
Okay.
But there are
See?
words that people receive.
Yeah.
They not. I mean, it's all about who's receiving it, who's on the receiving end.
Mhm.
Me, this comedy and entertainment to me.
Mhm.
If I want to laugh,
Man, it's
if I
how he
want
said
to
it.
It
man.
is-
That's
it's
what I'm
funny.
get some
saying.
It is
entertainment,
Yeah.
that's something to watch.
Hey, play the other
I
one,
wouldn't
man.
go to a church
No.
where that was just it.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
You
Hey,
know,
no,
but
no.
it's people who
It'd
receive
be-
it
it'd
like
be
that.
a little overkill for
Play
me.
play the other one that you sent me, man, last week where he was talking about us. Like, no, like he was getting on men.
Oh, okay.
Like you
I'm
know.
talking about. Oh, okay.
men, he said men should. Yeah, I know, right?
Look.
Oh, okay. He
Boy,
talking
girl,
about that.
boy, women.
Look, this is him giving advice to women. Okay, so let's see how he gives this.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Let's see.
I was
Let's
tired.
see.
God.
Let's see how he gives advice to
If he
women.
says one B word,
I was
Okay,
in tears.
here we go.
Watch this. It's hilarious.
Hold on.
he already said MF. I can already see his words.
Oh.
Look at this. What suit he got on? That's terrible. Why is it so built up in
He
the
doesn't
back?
have the best
He
attire.
got a whole cuff in the nape of his neck.
Here we go.
Oh. Mm.
What is this?
Mm.
That's not the one I was talking about, but that's hilarious. I'm sorry.
So,
we can't
But
play
see,
that.
I feel like that's this man. He ain't serious.
Hey,
This man ain't
Here-
serious.
here's the thing,
What's
though.
what is y'all take on that?
You're not. First of all, you're not supposed to.
He's-
You're not supposed to be
I
finding a man. First of all, as a woman, you don't find a man. Let me just put that
Oh,
out
he
there.
doesn't catch.
In the Bible, it does
Yeah.
not know.
Okay.
A man is supposed to find his wife. That's what that. So that right there.
But what if
At
the
least
man
show up somewhere where you can be found. I mean, go somewhere. You know,
Wherever
Lifetime Fitness. You know, go
well,
somewhere.
we know they
Okay.
don't go there. They married. That's
Yeah.
don't go there no more.
So that's how he get. That's how he gives
That's
the message,
terrible.
and we don't agree with that. I don't agree with how Liandria is doing hers, but let's talk about the truth of it. Is there truth in it, and should
And truth.
like,
wait.
if you're a
Truth
Christian,
and
but
truth
if
in
you're
what?
a Christian person,
Truth in what?
if you're an actual Christian, you shouldn't be judging anybody, right?
That's not true.
I mean, what? Why is that not
I
true?
mean, this is what Christians believe: is that
How-
you should be
Judge
judgmental.
not, lest
How is this
you
not
be
true?
judged.
Right, and there's
Uh,
scripture in the
no,
Bible that talk
in-
about not being judged.
That's what I'm saying. He said no.
In Corinthians, it says, "Be a righteous judge."
Okay.
Righteous judge.
A righteous.
So,
judge.
but if you're a Christian, then
So
But
you're
they-
being fair.
Yeah, and then you have to define biblically what the word righteous means.
Yeah.
so is it fair for Christians to tell gay people they shouldn't be at church?
I
But
don't think so. Well, I think that judgment, making an assessment or analysis of something is totally different, which I think everybody should be doing, is making an assessment of a thing or a person. You know, you should be using discernment and things like that, but what you shouldn't do, in my opinion, is condemn. So judge, you know,
Two
okay,
different
I
things.
assess.
Belinda.
Yeah.
I assess a person may be a scammer. Okay.
Yep.
Well, now I know. Let me be harmless, wise as a serpent, and harmless as a dove, as the scripture says.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch
Okay.
on that.
Now I know I
Go
need to
ahead.
stay away from this person, or I need to watch this or watch that. That's not being judgmental.
Okay.
That's making a
I'm gonna
judgment
touch on that, sis.
of the
Go ahead.
person or the situation. But judgment is saying you're going to hell because you scam people, and you know,
Okay.
and you're a bad human being, and this, that, and the third.
You know, all these people that say, you know, don't judge me, you know,
Mhm.
don't judge me, don't judge me. Okay, you commit a crime and
Yeah.
you stand in front of a judge. I
Yeah.
want y'all to tell that judge, don't judge me.
Right.
See, there's a difference between judging and condemning.
Right.
There's a, you know, it's totally different.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, and the judge has the power to do both.
Yeah.
But one sin isn't greater than the other.
Mm.
So for a man to say, you know, oh, you're gay, you can't be in church.
Mm-hmm.
What is the definition of sin?
What's your virgin?
That's a great
Virgin of
No,
sin.
because I'm asking like, well, what is the Bible?
Well, God said that is the law.
But what were you were about to say something though about where were you going, Ashley? And
Oh, I want to talk about what Belinda said.
yeah, there you go.
Miss Belinda Nelson. Hello, let's shine some light on it. Galatians 6:7 here. Be not deceived. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. He is just disrespectful. He is speaking out of personal experience. Judgment begins at the house of God, so judgment begins with us. That's what she said.
That's a good way to look at it.
Shout out to Miss Belinda.
I
Thank you
do
for
feel
that.
like that.
Shout out to Belinda.
In short, I believe what she's saying is you give back what you get out.
That thing, whatever's oh,
So when I look at
That thing
him,
is
when I
wrong.
look at I hear what they're saying. You know, I totally understand what they're saying.
Sure.
And I guess maybe because I don't like sugarcoating. You know, I don't like to be sweet talk. I don't like the motivational speaker type of speeches.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
I like that when it comes to like education. You
Right,
know,
right,
professional
right.
stuff.
Right. But
When
real
it comes
life
to
stuff.
real life, man, I need to hear pastor, you know, bitch, you know, I ain't coming back next Sunday, damn. So, you know, I don't want to leave because I'm supposed to leave the church. Well, no, that ain't true either. I ain't supposed to feel good when I leave the church sometime,
Right.
you know.
You should be
so,
ready to do something when you leave. church,
right, I
like,
should be
change your life.
motivated, or I should
I
be
feel like that's.
dang, he
I
really
feel
let
like
me have it.
that is not motivating. That is.
So,
I mean, but even his man supposed to seek a man. Like, when
Right.
are we supposed
I
to
agree
seek a
with that.
man? At
But
point,
maybe he
not.
Well, he
You need to
was.
find
He
you.
was-
I I think the whole purpose was saying know your value and know your worth.
So why can't you just say that?
And so,
And
well, because everybody
read
can't.
the
And I'm honest. If I talk to, unfortunately, I talk to my 8th graders all the time. In the perfect, well, I wouldn't even say perfect.
Yeah,
sometimes I do get a little gutter, and so I talk to them.
You should put the R on that.
Right, gutter.
Gutter.
There you
Do
go.
a little gutter, and well, gutter. I'm right. It's gutter. It's not all the way gutter. Just kind of in the middle.
You said it right when you said it.
But anyway, but and hell, I got them 9 months out of the year. I'm saying the same thing in July that I'm gonna say. Everything that
Nicki,
Lil
Cardi
E
B.
and all these other people are saying
I
that
said
are
I like it,
talking
like
just
that.
like these pastors.
Right.
They know because that's the language. Unfortunately, that's their language on a lot of things.
So, and we'll close with this and go to the next subject. Does the church need to change how they're giving people
The word.
communicating the word?
I think so. I think that's a fair
That's a fine-
question.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, sorry. I think that's a fair question because times change, technology changes the way we
Right.
communicate. Obviously, people back in 20, 30 years ago weren't communicating this way. Heck,
Right.
I don't know how long Facebook Live has been on, but 5 years ago we weren't communicating this way.
Mm.
So, as technology grows and changes the way we communicate, the way we even Twitter, we're used to 140 characters, 120 characters. The way we perceive and receive information is different. So yes, I do think you need to change as technology and as the times change and grow and people adapt. But that don't mean you got to go on here and just act all crazy. Now, you could be straightforward and say it is what it is.
Yeah.
But just be careful of your message. One, I don't think his message was right. Two, I don't think the way he delivered it was appropriate.
Yeah.
To me, it was more negative and more demeaning. I think you can be more positive, but still be a straight shooter. Because I like to be a straight shooter. Tell me like it is. If my jumper is trash, P, I need you to tell me. Get in the gym.
Right.
You trash tonight. But they don't ever say that to me. That P
So
knows
you
that.
don't want nobody to
But-
say, you could just, because this is how
Right.
this is what they tell teachers
So
to
this
say.
is the question.
This is
Go ahead.
This
go
is
ahead.
the language that they tell teachers to use.
Mhm.
Well, Ashley, let's work on the way you shoot a little bit. Let's challenge ourselves and motivate ourselves.
We don't
next
coach
time
like that.
to do a
Coaches
little
don't
better.
coach like that.
So instead, you
we
won't
don't
look
educate.
here, Ashley. Let me look. I'm gonna just be real with you, sister. You're trash. I need you to think. I need you to go to sleep
Yeah.
right now, thinking about how you will not be trash tomorrow when you come back to this gym.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Right. Now let's
Yes.
take that.
Yes.
Your coach, your best coach.
Didn't I say that earlier?
Oh, yeah, for
Did
sure.
I say that earlier though?
Oh yeah.
To get
for sure.
through, to
For sure.
get through to you, to
For
get
sure.
the message through.
But
How
they ain't
did
call
that
me no
message-
B's and talk about no P's.
Yeah, that's
But was there some slight
talk about being
disrespect?
No,
to
but
get through
but
to
see,
you?
there was never disrespect towards me as an individual. I think
it was in love.
it was
Okay.
it was more you got to get your stuff together. You got to get
I
in
was
the gym.
just thinking that.
It's not you. I don't want to be cursed out here, but you hoes out here. It's not bringing people down
Yeah.
and
That's-
labeling
yeah,
people.
that's
It's
totally
not
right.
bringing. It's not
I do
demeaning
think the
Yeah.
leadership
people.
is,
That's
leadership
what
is
I
different.
mean. Yeah, and if he would take that out, then okay, then I'm cool with being direct and saying it is what it is. Put it on the table. This is what it is. This is why you can't get
Right.
anywhere in life. Great, fantastic.
Right.
But he didn't have to do all that. He doesn't have to. I think that's crazy. That's
I agree with
craziness.
that. He's over
Yeah.
the top.
He
Yeah.
is
Pure
way excessive. Now it is entertainment,
Yeah.
but I just think for people to be following this man, and that's again our culture. That's what I think. That makes me feel bad. That hurts my heart because there's people that believe in this man. Like listen, for real. There's people that listen to this person. They go out and they treat other. That's how they talk to other
Yeah.
people and interact with everybody. But as a coach, your players. I can't talk to Ebony
Right.
the same way I can talk to P.
Yeah.
I can get on P in the game and be like, yo, you're trash right now. What's wrong with you? Pick it up. Eb, I
Some
can't
people
do
make it a
that.
different way.
I can't
Right.
talk to Eb that way. That don't mean I can't be direct with Ebony. Come on now,
See,
we
maybe
need
this
you.
is where that pastor fit in.
But that's
what I'm
There's
saying.
people out there that need it like that.
But that's true.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
those people are going and carrying that as a
Right.
So
leader.
you're saying they
you
might
can't.
go to somebody else and be like, bitch, look.
Yup.
And And it
Yep.
sounds like he now. I think. Well, I'm pretty sure he talks like that to everybody. Whatever. So what he could have said.
You know it.
Because there's a scripture that
I hate
says,
to be in his
"Don't
household.
cast your pearls before swine." So him saying, coming on there saying, "Now look here, ladies, don't cast your pearls before swine." You know, I can see some people like, "What?"
Another
is
way
he
of
talking
saying,
about?
don't pull down your panties
Right.
in front of a low life.
Right, basically. It's like, don't cast your pearls before swine. Or look, don't be sleeping with these no good dog Negroes unless you just don't care about yourself.
I just think that there's room for everybody to receive
Yeah.
it
Sure.
in some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And we need everybody.
Yeah.
we need
We
everybody
do. We
to,
do.
We need a
to give
mixture.
it how they give
A
it.
good
Because
mixture.
otherwise you're going to miss some people.
Yes, because I mean, not
And
go
by
to
no
sleep.
means are we trying
No,
to
no,
promote
no.
not go to church and nothing
No,
like that.
We're just discussing.
Yes, we're just
Yeah,
discussing.
yeah, the gray area is the gray area. That's what we
Yeah.
just talk about it. So the next thing we want to talk about is people calling the police on people for doing normal things.
Man, 911 on speed dial.
It has been heavy right now. Like the crazy
Has
part
it?
is
Has
that
it
this
been?
has been going on for years.
Uh-huh.
But social media and technology has been blasting people.
Exposing. Yeah.
So everybody gonna be like this.
In a sense,
Mhm.
we kind of
Which
know
is a
who's
shame.
been doing all this calling.
Because no
When
one's
you,
helping
You
the
know how
person
you be
when they-
somewhere and the police just show up. You be like, what they show up for? Yeah, we know we got
Becky
Yeah.
done slipped out the back.
we got somebody
Yes.
peeking through the curtains.
Uh-huh.
But now what's crazy is that with this administration, they just don't care. They out in your face. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stand right here in your face
Yeah.
because
They got
that's
fired
pulled
by
out
the
of people,
Mhm.
and it's making them even more bold
Yeah.
in the way they do stuff.
It's always
Oh,
it's
man.
always been there.
It's always been there.
Yeah,
But
but
now
it's
it's
like
even more like they really don't care now.
No.
Like,
Hey, would you rather somebody keep that to themselves?
no. I'd rather them expose.
Or would you rather?
expose
Yeah.
I'm
it,
just
expose it.
asking. Everybody's
I'm just
personal
glad
opinion.
the world is actually seeing what
How
really goes
racist
down.
these people are,
It's a
man.
lot of
It
a lot of
is.
people
It's
who are,
intense.
and because they don't even believe that they're racist, but they're
Right.
doing racist things. So these people say, "Well, I work with people that are this color from this denomination, this background. I live with people. I have friends.
I
but
named my son
you don't
after a
know
black guy.
that
Yeah.
it's racist. Like some of the stuff that you're doing is
Politicians.
racist. No matter
I
how
have
many
3
friends.
black. If you know how
No
many
matter
black
how many
friends you got.
people are raising awareness and bringing this to light, they're just not. They're not just.
Yeah.
These people. This is stuff we've been yelling for years. It's just really now getting in the spotlight where people are starting to really see. Like really, they calling police on kids trying to make money, sell water, mow the
Mowing the
lawn.
grass. Yeah.
I mean, just go to the pool, go to Starbucks. I mean, like
it's crazy.
it's really like you really calling the police on people for doing normal things.
Yeah.
So so
Because
did
they
y'all,
can.
Yeah.
yeah, did y'all see
Again,
the?
because they can.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying because they can do that.
To their community pool.
Yeah. She
Okay.
had she was African
Yeah,
woman. I
yeah,
think
and
she's
she,
African.
yeah,
that's
and she had her card and everything, right?
Yeah.
So this white guy was like, basically not basically, he literally called the cops on her
Mm-hmm.
because she would not show him her ID.
Sure did.
So the
Yeah.
cops were there and they were like, basically kind of like if you watch the video,
Mm-hmm.
the cops were trying to please this dude.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting
I
right
was
there
going to
like,
say that.
yeah, they were like,
Very nice of
ma'am,
him.
can you just show him your ID?
In every video I've
I'm like,
seen the
what
cops
what the world?
cater to them. I've
Right.
seen
Yeah,
that in
like-
every
Right.
video.
I mean, these cops were like catering to this dude, and the cop said, "Sir, no, I'm sorry." The cop said, "Ma'am, could you just show him your ID so
He even
can
swiped
feel
her
better?"
card
Yeah,
just to see. He's like, see, it turns green. She's
And-
okay.
yeah. So then she said, "Hey,
Why?
you know," she was like, "Hey, so can you at least say sorry?"
Mm-hmm.
And the dude refused to say sorry. But
Again,
that's how they
because
view
he
you. Like,
can.
yeah.
Well, he
Well,
lost his job.
And here's another
I think
situation.
he
Yeah,
actually
did
lost.
lose his job.
Not only did he lose his job, he also because he was a part of the
He
homeowners
was,
association.
yeah.
Yeah, he got booted from that, and he lost his job.
And here's my
Then he
thing.
was
People will say,
apologetic.
well, why y'all
Oh,
being
then he
so,
was.
why y'all being
Yeah,
so
after he lost
sensitive?
everything.
Yeah,
Trash.
they're saying, why y'all being so sensitive? This is going too far. People losing their jobs.
Mm.
Well, my question is when are we going to hold people accountable
Right.
for doing dumb stuff?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's
Like
touch it.
for
Yeah.
doing stuff that makes them uncomfortable. When are they going to be held accountable? Because they can go back home and live comfortably, and our kids and our families are left traumatized with what just
Right.
happened, and they still living comfortable. Like, this dude didn't even apologize. He basically called the police on her to get her, to have them boot her, and it's like she has a past here. So what was your goal? And you didn't even apologize. So what was what was the end goal?
Those people are angry.
You was hoping
There's something. They're just angry.
No,
The
that's
sad
that.
people.
I'm not gonna make any.
Yeah.
I'm,
You
know,
I'm not making any.
Like, you gotta
excuse
be
for
so
them.
miserable.
Some people just evil, man.
But no, I agree.
call it what it
you
is,
gotta
it's
be
evil.
so miserable with yourself and your life that
Or maybe that's just who they are.
That's so illogical. That makes no sense.
Or maybe that's just who they are.
It's all the same thing. You
Right.
you don't like yourself. You
That
don't like.
culture needs
It's
to be
so
busted.
because in my mind, I live my life. I'm not thinking about
Right.
the next person. I
Right.
could care less about the person of another color sitting next to me.
Absolutely.
But there are people in this world that have a problem with that.
That makes them uncomfortable.
That is a
Right.
sickness, and that it's something up here. You are so unhappy with whatever it is. You are mentally gone. You've
Right.
lost it. You're
Right.
sick.
They're so
care.
they've been living a life
It's
in
crazy.
a box with people that they love that's around them. So when someone that doesn't look like them or looks suspicious to them comes around, they want to call the police. Now, I know a lot of people that are really good and genuine people, you know, and I can honestly say that I've had very, very few encounters of that happening, but it has happened. And
It's happened
sometimes,
to me several times.
sometimes when it does happen, you don't even realize it's happening.
Yeah.
It's like you get home, you be like, damn, was I just profiled?
Profile.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't live you don't go every day thinking that it's going to happen to you, and it's not until you get home. So now people are like, look, we're going to catch this before it even get out of hand.
Right.
And I'm so glad that people are able to do that, because it goes from y'all just complaining, just get up, pull yourselves up out of the bootstrap and do what everybody else is doing. But how can you do that when you have people constantly interrupting your normal life when you're just trying to live?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's hard to do.
Classism.
So when y'all was talking about the officer who was basically like being nice and saying, "Oh, just show him your pool pass." We have a situation right here. It's a Puerto Rican woman. She has on a Puerto Rican shirt, and this guy is continuously harassing her, older fellow, and he's basically saying, "You're not." He's basically saying that she's not welcome in this country because she shouldn't be wearing a Puerto Rican shirt. She needs to take it off, and y'all are not going to change America. The world is not going. He's basically this whole, and I call this the Trump effect, because basically these people are